kickoff times and short turnarounds. Let's listen to what he had to say.
They dare to give Thursday, Sunday, which is not to change because we're still in Europe, Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, 12:30 is a crime. I was actually waiting for Amnesty International to go to them. And it's just somebody sits there. You love this press conference. So just somebody sits there and decides that I would like to be once part of that meeting when somebody says, Liverpool 12:30 and the whole room is bursting into laugh. Again? I would like to be there. This morning again I got sent the stats for the quickest turnaround in the whole world. Liverpool FC. And we sit there and I'm the same and I tell you, you have to do more and you have to fight more and you have to go for it. In the whole world we have the quickest turnaround between games. That's absolutely insane. So, but they are still happy and collect subscribers. You can take me off that list.
Amnesty International. It's a good one-liner. We'll give him that much.
Yeah, very good.
He's consistent, if nothing else. I mean, he's been harping on this forever, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's got a point for one reason only. Liverpool, without question, have had more 12:30 kickoffs by far than anybody else, and that's wrong. And it's wrong. You can talk about the short time from the previous game and the Thursday, Sunday, but the fact is, for players, the 12:30 kickoff is an absolute mare. It's a complete nightmare. Your body just refuses to accept that it's going to be in the right place at the right time to kick off at 12:30. It just does. We're not programmed for 12:30 kickoffs. But if it's spread around the top sides, so-called top sides, and everybody has to do it a certain amount of times, then that's fine. That's fair because everybody has to deal with the same amount. But when one team has to do it more than the other top sides, it's unfair competitively. It is.
But if Erik Ten Hag were saying this, would we be saying that he's a clown?
No, we wouldn't.
Yeah,
we wouldn't.
No, I think we give Jurgen Klopp the benefit of the doubt, and we give Jurgen Klopp a lot of leeway because of the things that he's been.
I think what I said, Ali.
Hold on, because of the things that he's been able to achieve with Liverpool, and that's fine, and I think that's fair because he has earned that equity. But let's not get crazy either. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, Stevie, and I understand that you would want to sort of pass or spread that around the top teams or the perceived top teams in the league, and so that there is a sense of fairness.
Right.
Well, it's not. This is not the reason as to why you're losing the league.
But nobody said that.
No, but I'm saying.
But at the end of the day, it gives other teams a competitive advantage. When you're kicking off at 12:30, your whole the way you prepare for a game that you've done is completely screwed up.
Right, but
when you have to do it so many more times than your competition, that is unfair. That's the only argument that he's got that's valid. You know, at the end of the day, the money they're getting is because of the TV.
Right.
So to complain about the TV is a little ironic when you're picking up 9 mil for being a manager. But the one thing that I think he's right at is that competitive edge that the other teams get. But I don't think that is completely out of order in any way, shape, or form.
Well, it may not be out of order, but in you saying that this is a team that has played the most games and the 12:30 kickoff, guess what? There's a way to get used to it. You do it all the time, you get used to it. Is that not part of your preparation?
I don't like brown sauce when we mince and tatties, but can I get used to it?
Okay, well, that.
Hey, if that's all I've got,
you don't like corn with your.
If it's wrong, if it's wrong, it's wrong. It's not. You get used to it. No. If it's wrong, it's wrong.
But how is it that wrong? How is it that wrong? How is it that wrong?
Let's get Jules' perspective on this. Jules, what are they saying over in England about the latest bit of Klopp complaining?
I mean, it's not surprised because he's done it a few times. I think, in a way, both Stevie and Ali make the right point. Stevie is right. You should not be playing much more, especially to your competitors, to City and Arsenal, let's say, at 12:30 on a Saturday. And let's not forget, Klopp takes the example of Thursday in Europa League, Sunday in the league, and then you play Wednesday again in the league, and then you play Saturday 12:30 in the league. But remember, every single time after the international break, Liverpool used to kick off at 12:30 on the Saturday. And when we know after the international break, some players come back very late on the Wednesday night. The South Americans, the Africans sometimes arrive on the Thursday, sometimes really late on the Thursday, and then they have to play 12:30 on that Saturday. And that is unfair. That is unfair. And you could easily have a rule that, to level it up a little bit. But TVs pick their teams, pick their games, and they pick the teams that has the most TV numbers and TV figures, and that the people watching the television is going to be really high. And Liverpool are that team in England, more than Arsenal, more than City, more than United. This is Liverpool this season. So that's why. And Klopp said today, stop telling me that TV are paying my wages. Well, we have to, Jurgen, because that's the truth. This is true. So I understand both of your points. However, I still think that the gap between how many games Liverpool have played 12:30 and the others, especially City and Arsenal, is really too much, and it should not be like this.
You're too popular, Stevie. Your team is too popular.
Casey, your Spurs ways. What do you make of what Ange is saying?
I understand what he's saying, because I think you understand that if you have a particular direction, that you inherit a group, and only a few of them, or half of them, or three-quarters, or whatever the percentage is, can play that particular way. Now you have to have the ability to, in the transfer market, to bring in other players that fit your direction. Now, I think what we've seen at Tottenham for many, many years is you're not going to have the resources available that Pep Guardiola has to make his team look the way Pep Guardiola wants his team to look, or what Jurgen Klopp has, or what Chelsea have had and have obviously gotten wrong the last couple of years, but still. So I still have a question mark on what Ange is going to be able to do, because I don't know if he's going to have the ability to take that person who plays like that and take that person who plays like that. I think he's still going to be restricted with what he has.
It took a while, and we like some Postecoglou. It took a while, but he's starting to sound like Antonio Conte. Because it's the same conversation that Antonio Conte was having at the end of his time at Spurs. It's like, well, we need this guy, we're short this guy, we need that player, we don't have enough, we need to find this other players, we need some investment, and so on and so forth. Again, I like Ange Postecoglou, I like what he has done with Spurs, but when you start going down this path, it starts sounding a lot like Captain Deflecto. It starts sounding a lot like excuses. Whether it's true or not, it just starts sounding that way. And now you're building a base that has excuses written all over them instead of working with the group that you have available. I'm just saying, it sounds a lot like Antonio Conte. We just happen to like this guy and not Conte at the end of his Spurs time.
It does have a way of presenting it.
Yes.
I mean, it presents it.
Yes.
As if it's the voice of reason. And we're all going like that.
A good point.
But you can't look at it that way, and he's complaining.
But Stevie, what's the key to management, though? You have to work in a framework of what you have.
Aye.
You can't just magically snap your fingers and say, hey, I want you to run twice as much as you've ever run in your career. I need you to get twice as fast as you've ever been to play this particular way. And then that's great. If you have unlimited funds to go say, hey, that guy can do that, and that guy can do that, so I can bring him in. But if you don't you really have to work in a framework of what best suits the players you have?
Well, we said it the other day. At the end of the day, it's about winning games. Yes, if you're a Spurs fan, you like the way he plays the game. But after a certain period of time, when that disappears, it's about results. But you have to find a way with what you've got until you can change it. And to come out straight away after such a bad period and kind of basically say, well, these players can't do this. Well, don't play like that then. You got to taper to what you've got. Don't put them in positions where they're going to perform the way they did and then blame them when actually you're the one asking them to do things that you've just told us
they're not
can't
capable
do.
of doing.
Spurs get Liverpool on Sunday. So we've heard from
Here we go.
Always Postecoglou. Yes, come on, Erik.
We've heard from Poch. Let's hear from Erik Ten Hag. Why not? Quote, ever since I've been at Manchester United, we approach our games in an attacking way. We create many chances like we did versus Burnley. We also concede many goals. It's open and it's fun to look at.
Come on.
End quote. It's opened and it's fun to look at. Jules, your thoughts?
Wow.
I mean, it's an absolute joke, but we've said it from the beginning. I mean, this guy is just a stand-up comedian, isn't he? This is what he does. Every time there's a microphone in front of him, he just says jokes. But more seriously, we've said now for many weeks, all of us, he's under pressure and he knows it massively. Between what is leaked to the press by Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Manchester United, etc., what he can hear himself, he knows he's under massive pressure and it's more likely than not that he won't be there next season. So every time there's a press conference, there's a microphone in front of him, he thinks that he should say something that maybe will convince Ratcliffe and the others that it's a good idea to keep him. So remember, we've said that many times. He will come up after a game and say something ridiculous, but just thinking like, oh, maybe if they believe me, that is going to play in my favour. Same with this quote. I mean, why is this quote? Their goal difference is +1 or something ridiculous like that. They could hardly be Sheffield United, Coventry and Burnley. I mean, come on. This is not... It's not even funny anymore, Erik. It's not even funny anymore.
You think that's what we're seeing, Stevie? A guy trying to save his job with his words?
The other day we were talking about Tuchel, and I was basically talking about you should have your own self-respect, right?
Right, not going back to Bayern after they...
So you can't, surely you can't honestly believe that. And if you don't believe it, I tell you what, it takes a brazen man to sit there when you actually know that's... If you know that's not correct, which he has to do, to sit and do that, I mean, you're lowering yourself.
Well, the scarier part is, does he think he's correct?
Well, that's the scary part.
There's the scary part.
There's a little piece that makes you think he might actually believe it.
What about the players when they see something like that?
Well, just exactly what Ali did. Yeah. They're going to go, what? What is he on about?
I mean, honestly, he makes Manchester United sound as if like they're 1970 Brazil, as if like they're Clockwork Orange and the Dutch national team, and that this is total football, and they haven't been. Now, look, you don't have to be total football, right? If you have a style and indeed allows you to get results with consistency and you embrace the fact that you're a counter-attacking team, that's on you. Right. But I don't know what we're trying to convince the world that you're something far, far from the truth. And I mean, not even in the same vicinity of the truth. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Sometimes I hear Erik Ten Hag, I'm like, why is he still talking?
Well, take what Jules said, but if they had scored just a ton of goals and on their day were super entertaining but couldn't defend and in big games, and okay, I get that, but...
Maybe we're missing the point.
I think we're missing we're missing something or somebody else is missing something.
It's a double bluff.
Is that it?
He once paid up.
There.
All